Hey guys, it's Julia, and today I'm going to be doing my February wrap-up in my March TBR. So I didn't actually get a whole lot of reading done this month. I was kind of in a reading slump, kind of not, because I wanted to read, but my problem was finding a book that actually caught my attention enough for me to actually finish reading it. So I actually started a lot of books and even got halfway through some, but I just didn't finish them. So I'm going to talk about some of those books today, and let's just get started. So the first and only book that I actually finished this month was The Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. I've been reading through this series pretty slowly over the last couple of months and really enjoying it. I did really like this one, not as much as I liked the last few, and I feel like this book had kind of a lot of fluff in it that didn't need to be there. This book did not need to be this long whatsoever, but I still did really enjoy the main points of this book. So I think I ended up giving this a 4-star rating because overall I did really enjoy this book. Just the whole fluff part was the part that bothered me. The next book is a book that I started and did not finish. I read about half of it and I still do want to finish reading it, but I've already talked about why I am having trouble reading it. And that is The 100,000 Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin. And the reason why I'm having such trouble getting through this is because I started it on audiobook and then just kind of lost where I was and missed some important vital things to the story while I was listening to it on audiobook, and now none of the story makes sense to me. So now I'm kind of in a place where I'm like, do I go back and reread everything that I've already read, or do I just set it aside and come back to it later when there's some things aren't as fresh in my mind and I can kind of go into it as reading basically like a new book. Hopefully I'll get back to it. I do want to read it. It is really interesting. It is a really cool world that takes place in that book, so I really do want to get to it. The next book that I have started but did not finish this month was The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert, and I actually just started this a few days ago, so it's not like I'm not liking it or it's just not catching my interest, because I do actually really like where the story is going. It does have a lot of things that I feel like are pretty like teenage-ish, if that's really a word, but very like teeny bopper, if that makes sense. Like things where I'm like, this is kind of annoying to read, but I really do like what it's about so far, so I'm kind of trying to overlook those things that I just don't really like. It's mostly like the dialogue that's bothering me, but other than that, I'm really enjoying it, so I'm hoping to finish this in the next few weeks. So this is the first book on my TBR as well, so I will be trying to finish this in March. The next book that I am currently reading is one that I am freaking enjoying. Like, I'm loving every single second of reading this book. Is The Savior's Champion by Jenna Moreci. I cannot explain to you guys enough how amazing this book is so far. Like, I just want to be on my phone all the time reading it, because I only have it like as an ebook. Now, if you guys know me, if you guys are not new to my channel, you know that I do not like reading ebooks. So the fact that I am reading this as an ebook shows you right there that I must really like this book, because I would not continue reading it if I did not enjoy the story, because I just do not like reading on a screen. But with that said, I should be getting the actual physical copy soon, so I will probably like freaking read it super fast once I get the physical copy, because I am loving this story. I will literally go to bed, because I don't like, the only time I like to read an ebook is when I'm laying in bed and it's dark and I can't read a physical book. So I will literally go to bed 2 hours early just so that I can read it for 2 hours on my phone, which sounds ridiculous. And then I'm like trying to keep my eyes open and not fall asleep and reading it. Like, I've never fought sleep so hard in my life because I just want to read this book. So with that said, go check that book out, because it actually is not released yet. It is an ARC copy of the book, but you can pre-order it as an ebook and as a hardback book right now on Amazon, and I will leave those links down below for you guys to check out. And if you haven't checked out Jenna Moreci, go check her out, because literally she's the reason why I'm on BookTube and the reason why I'm an author or aspiring author. So definitely go check her out. She's amazing and she's hilarious. So now I'm going to go ahead and get into my March TBR. Obviously, I want to finish TSC in the next couple of days, hopefully. If I don't finish it now, then I will finish it once I get the physical copy of the book. So the next book that I'm really excited to read is the BookTube Book Club Pick of the Month, which we're kind of like in a spot where we're like kind of like 2 weeks, like our live shows are in the middle of the month, and so we have like the end of the month and the beginning of the month to read the book. So that's kind of where we are right now with this. We were doing it, you know, we would start at the beginning of the month and we do our live shows at the end of the month, but it just hasn't worked out the way that we like it to. So that's kind of where we are right now. But the BookTube Book Club Pick of the Month is Tempest and Slaughter by Tamora Pierce. And I am so excited to read this book. It just sounds so interesting. It kind of sounds to me like, I mean, there's like a school and these people trying to gain power. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, and I explained it in my book haul, but I am so excited to read this book, and this cover is gorgeous. It actually isn't as cool as I thought it was going to be whenever I originally bought it, because it's kind of like, it's like a matte finish book, and it's harder to see the image than whenever you see it on the computer screen, which I'll kind of show you guys an image of that so you guys can get a better idea of what I'm talking about. But I thought it looked prettier on the computer than it actually does in person, which is sad, but I still really like this cover, and I like how it has the metallic-y, shimmery look to it. So yeah, I'm excited to read that book. The next one I cannot wait to read is Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. I've been meaning to read this for a really long time, so I'm excited to finally get to it. And look, we match. Me and this book, we match. And yeah, this one, it just gives me total, like, you know, a walk to remember, very like The Fault in Our Stars, like epic love story, emotional, give you all the feels book vibes. So I cannot wait to read this. It's just, I can tell it's gonna be a favorite of mine because I love Becky Albertalli. Like, The Upside of Unrequited was one of my favorite books of last year, and I'm just dying to get into this. I know I'm gonna love it, guys, because it deals with some things, some real things. The next book I am excited to read for March is Maid of the King's Court by Lucy Worsley, and it was actually brought to my attention that Lucy Worsley is like a historian in the UK, and she actually does like documentaries on this time period, which is super cool. It is cool that she wrote like a fiction book when she actually does like documentaries. Yeah, so this book is so right up my alley. It is about about King Henry VIII kind of era and this lady in waiting, and I am dying to read this. Like, it just sounds so good, and the fact that like a historian is the author of this book just makes it even more badass because she knows her shit. Like, this book is going to be historically accurate, and that just makes the book so much better. The next book I cannot wait to read is Mary Queen of Scots, The Murder of Lord Darnley. And the reason why I picked this up is I actually saw, I think it was the Queen Elizabeth book by Alison Weir, and I saw that on Haley and Bookland's channel, and I looked it up to see if this author had written a Mary Queen of Scots book, because I love Mary Queen of Scots, and my work in progress right now is actually a retelling of her story in a sense, and so I am obsessed. And any kind of research that I could do, this is a fiction story, I believe, but it is in the same, like, it's the same story about what I'm writing, so I want to read it and see what I can pull from it and kind of get some ideas. And I'm sorry, but I just think Mary Queen of Scots is freaking so fascinating. Like, she's the romantic queen, and freaking King Francis and her, it's so cute. I love that story. And if you haven't seen Reign, watch it because it's phenomenal. Okay, the last book that I am planning on reading in the month of March is Saga Volume 8! Oh my god, I'm so happy to have this book right now. You guys don't even know. But in case you don't know, I'm obsessed with this graphic novel. It is freaking amazing. And Volume 7, okay, so I started reading Volume 1 literally last year, and read them all pretty fast, and volume 7 had been released last year, like right when I started reading them, and so I read all of them pretty fast and was like, when I got to volume 7 where it was like a cliffhanger of freaking epic proportion, I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do for the next however many months? I finished reading it like in the summer of last year, and this didn't come out till just recently, and guys, I didn't think this was coming out until April, so when I saw that this was available already, I about pissed my pants with excitement. Like, I literally jumped on my phone, went to Amazon, and bought it up like ASAP. And it came to my house. I forgot it was coming. I don't know how I forgot it was coming. And then my husband's like, oh, it feels like some kind of magazine. And then I got it in my hand and I was like, oh my God, do you know what this is? So I'm surprised I haven't read it yet because I got it yesterday, and I read these like literally, it takes me 2 hours to read these, if even that, because I mean, it's a graphic novel, but seriously, this book is so fucking good. I can't, well, not this one, but the series is so fucking good. I cannot express to you guys enough. Go check it out. This is an adult graphic novel. It has sex and language and all that stuff in it. So if you are not down for that, do not pick this up. But if you are down for it, pick it up. Pick it up. Okay, so that is really it for this book haul and wrap-up video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!